Freddy puffed determinedly down the line, with a long line of trucks in tow. He had been tasked with dropping off coal trucks at each station, and thought he could take them all at one go. He was starting to regret his decision by the time he reached a hill near Lakeside. "Come on! Come on!" he chuffed to the trucks. "I'll do it!"
"Edward, take these vans. The fish will go off before he gets them any further." Allard huffed and rowed lazily to a siding, while Edward took charge. "Off we go," he whistled. The vans were crossed at being bumped, but Edward pulled them so smoothly they couldn't help but follow on. Stepney puffed into view. The engines whistled and cheered. This abruptly woke Gordon up, who was most annoyed, but the tank engines didn't care one bit. Stepney stopped on the turntable. He looked over to Richard. "Hello," he peeped. Richard was aghast.
"I'm looking for a pilot for Tidmouth Yard,"
the Fat Controller said, and a chorus of excited whistles arose from the engine.
"Do any of you have the capacity to do it?"
And like magic, each whistle jammed shut in time. The engine shared a glum stare. As a mainline heavy goods engine, Murdoch would often make trips up to Vickerstown Yards. He hated staying there for long because of how noisy it was, and the mainland diesels that would rest there after dropping off the goods for Sodor.
Well, would you look at this, lads?
A big green diesel smirked.
Looks like an oversized pumpkin decided to join us. Sucks I have to be near an ugly lung cucumber like you, Murdoch clapped back. I see where they put you on goods. You'd scare away all the passengers with that ugly face of yours.
The other diesels tried not to laugh.
"Come on, Dennis, show a wheel."
Dennis yawned and looked around the yard.
You lot seem fine,"
he said.
"Well, if you're not gonna help, then at least get out of the way. I need that siding for Henry's goods."
Dennis just huffed and lazily rolled away.
"We have a standard to uphold, my dear engine,"
Henry rambled on.
"Our spotless mainline cannot be tarnished by filthy sidings. It looks like you're trying to grow a vegetable patch. What would the passengers think?"
"I didn't know passengers went into sidings. Have I been pulling coaches wrong this whole time?"
Edward replied, trying and failing to keep the chuckle out of his voice. Henry glared.
I'm not scared of you, Gordon. I'll take on any steamy. How about you take me on then?
Diesel 10 gulped. Gordon just sat outside Edward's station, while wisps of smoke rose into the air. Close by, a man waved a red flag, and Henry drew to a halt.
"Not having a rest, are you, Gordon?"
he asked incredulously.
"No," came a stern voice. "He's been forced to stop and admire your work."
"I'm quite busy enough," Duck protested. "But sir, please don't bring back that diesel. He was devious."
"Oh, don't you worry about that. He's never coming back,"
the Fat Controller said, and winked to the open space behind him. The engines could only guess why he had done that.
Well, you know, sir,
Percy stammered.
I heard of this thing, I have, where, they get little engines, you see, and they put them on a flatbed, and it converts the tiny little wheels into big engine wheels. And, well, Scallowy could run for us, and...
"Enough of that!"
the Fat Controller demanded.
Get back! Don't come any closer! I'll destroy you and that claw!
James was very standoffish and mean towards Bear when he first arrived. He never liked diesels, and thought Bear couldn't be trusted. Bear tried to be patient and understanding, but one night he had finally had enough.
"My brothers and I were kings of the East Coast Main Line back in the day,"
Spencer proudly stated.
"We were the fastest, and dare I say, most splendid engines in the whole region, and we pulled a bunch of glorious express trains, until they brought in those filthy things they called diesels in the 60s to take over."
Next morning, Richard arrived at the station, where Thomas was waiting. "Oh, so it's you," he sniffed. "Back to try and fill some wheels too big for you?"
Richard frowned.
Now listen, you.
He rumbled.
I won't stand for your cheek, if it's all right.
I beg your pardon?
You don't push me around.
Richard rumbled with an uncharacteristic frown.
I push you around. Now, would you mind pushing my trucks around and then behind me?
Thomas was speechless. He fussed off to fetch the trucks. Felix sat sadly in his siding. He had been withdrawn from service and was sent for scrap. The other diesels would give him looks of disgust and were very rude. They'd say things like,
Embarrassment, heap of junk,
and
those kettlers were almost better than you were,
to him as they passed. His only true companion were the trucks the diesels would leave and the rusted remains that surrounded him. He felt cold, lonely, and very worried about what was to come.
Pitchford was right. It's amazing what a bit of polish does. Hides the dirt festering beneath the frames. You're a sham, all of you! I want no part in this. That's enough. You will understand, Gordon, in time. But for now, I think it's best you spend the night somewhere else. And who's going to move me?
Morning, Rusty.
Stepney cheerfully peeped.
Morning, Rusty honked back.
Douglas, why are you masquerading with Donald's tender?
I'll get out my paint tomorrow and give you a beautiful coat of blue paint with red stripes. Then you'll be the smartest engine in the shed.
What did you just say about America?
Both engines arrived at their final stations very late, which ensured the manager learned of their feud.
I am most disappointed in you both,
He scolded when the engines returned to their shed.
Eric, I appreciate your concern for our passengers' enjoyment, but you may not modify the timetable and block the line as you see fit.
He turned to Shane Duany.
I find your new attitude most unbecoming, Shane. Experienced as you are, you have no right to give commands to other engines, and certainly not our passengers. I expect the two of you shall mend your ways and put this silly quarrel to rest. Otherwise, you'll stay in the shed until it's resolved.